Baseball is undoubtedly America's pastime, but it's more than just a sport, it's a catalyst to give back.
That's right. Since 2009, the Delmarva Shorebirds Fly Together Fund has been helping fund local community projects that focus on youth and youth sports. They've committed to a long list of groups, including the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore and several other local Little Leagues.
And that is where the Hot Stove Banquet comes in. It's a chance to meet legendary players, enjoy a great meal, and celebrate the spirit of the game. Chris Bitters is the general manager with the Delmarva Shorebirds, and he's here to tell us all about it. Welcome to DelmarvaLife.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you letting me be here today.
So how long has the Shorebirds been putting on the Hot Stove Banquet?
Almost our entire existence. I think we've done a Hot Stove Banquet. All 18 years that I've been here, we've done it. So well over 20 years, the Hot Stove Banquet's been going on with the Delmarva Shorebirds, but it's a pretty traditional thing across all of baseball and particularly minor league baseball teams as well.
So why is it such an important tradition this time of year?
So, really the term hot stove is in the baseball world is a winter term, and it really predates technology. And, kind of it was a bunch of old men would kind of get around a hot stove in the winter time, cold out, and chat about their baseball teams and what they needed to improve and all that kind of stuff. So that's where the term hot stove season in baseball comes in, predating all the technology we have now that we can just chat about it all the time. So for us, it's an opportunity to gather our fans, the community in the wintertime, to get together and talk baseball just like it was done 100 years ago, but now in the Civic Center in a warm room and a great meal. And, we love to bring in a guest speaker. This year, Ken Singleton will be our guest, and we use it as an opportunity to gather everybody, but also raise money for our community fund, and that allows us to then go out and provide funding for different projects or different youth groups without the community.
You always manage to bring in some pretty amazing guests for this banquet. So, of course, you mentioned food. What kind of food are we going to?
Yeah, so we'll have a full buffet meal. So you have a couple different proteins in your sides and all that kind of good stuff to eat on. Wonderful desserts. The Civic Center staff does a great job with all their food. So it'll be a full buffet meal. And then dessert, and then once we get through that, we'll move on into the presentation side of things too.
So tell us a little bit more about the Fly Together Fund. What does that go to support?
Yeah, so when I took over the team in 2007, we did not have an established fund that provided funds back out into the community to support different efforts. So in 2009, I figured out who the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore was, and there was a great opportunity to have a donor advised fund. So a lot of things we do, whether it's jersey auctions, our hot stove banquets, grab bags, or other stuff throughout the season that fans get to participate in, are all ways that we're raising money to then put into that fund and then be able to fulfill requests back out to the community on a regular basis for both, like you said, youth as well as youth sports groups. So.
And both of us have been honored to do the Floats for the Fun in the middle of the summer with the ice cream
Float for the Fun is one of our bigger fundraisers for that. It's a great event, so we're always looking for ways to have events that engage our fan base in the community, but then tie that into a way potentially to raise some funds so that we can give back throughout the year.
All right, but we're talking about the Hot Stove Banquet, and you have all the details?
Yeah, so February 5th, tickets are available. They're $50 a piece. You can go on our website and purchase those, theshorebirds.com. And like I said, it's February 5th, starts about 6 o'clock.
And of course, the Delmarva Sports Network is a sponsor of the Delmarva Shorebirds Hot Stove Banquet.
Dinner will be from 7 to 8. From about 8 to 9 is our guest speakers, including Mr. Ken Singleton. Again, so for those that the younger crowd may not know Ken, guys that are a little bit older will know Ken. He was part of the '83 World Series team for the Orioles. He's an Oriole Hall of Fame member. He played for the Orioles for about 10 years, I believe it was, and then he went on to a broadcasting career after that. But he's still regionally based, and we're thrilled to have him. And it's a great time to talk baseball and get updates from the Orioles as well about the upcoming season.
Do you ever have to shoo people away? Because I know you guys can talk baseball.
Yeah, no, we love it. I mean, we do stop right around 9:15. There are times, I remember one year we had Buck Showalter as our guest, and I mean, he could have went on all night, and we would have sat there all night and listened. But to be respectful of everybody's time, it's a Thursday night in the middle of winter, so try to get out of there about 9:30, and we'll have a silent auction to raise money. We'll have raffles, as well as grab bag door prize things as well. So it's a great way to raise some funds again for our community fund, have a great speaker come to the community, as well as gather everybody for the winter. So we're expecting about 500 people hopefully for the event, and we'll be at the Civic Center, so it'll be great.
Awesome.
Chris Bitters, General Manager, Shorebirds. Looking for a great season this year, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And good weather this year.
Yes. No rainouts.